I'm Nigel Webb. This is my home, and I live with my wife and my 2 daughters. I lived most of my childhood in an institution in Brisbane, and as part of the deinstitutionalisation process, I came to initially share a house in the community with a few other people, and then after some work and some time, I was able to secure this property through public housing. So, and the upside is I've been here for 24 years. So if you get it right, the long-term benefits cascade for people. Before I moved here, I moved house 5 times in 2.5 years. I shifted dwellings in the community because of short-term leases or whatever, or lack of access, or whatever the issues may have been. So after moving 5 times in 2.5 years, I was very excited to know that this was going to be my home, and that I could actually start to focus on other things that are important. So I wanted to work, I wanted to study, I wanted to raise a family. These were important goals for me, as they are important for anybody else. So having that security at your home allowed me to then say, well, okay, I now know where my stuff is, I now know where I'm going to live. When I'm putting in job applications, I have an address. Once you get a place in community, you build relationships with people, and you decide who else you want to make part of your life. Making a decision 7 years ago to marry, that was a game changer, because it meant my lifestyle would change, and I'd share, and how, even we made a decision about if we were going to have children and how they were going to be supported, and how I was going to be supported in the process. So that's inviting formal services into your house, or informal services, getting to know other people. And it all, ironically, it revolves around the house. If I didn't have security of tenure and a job, I wouldn't think about a family. I may not have even thought about getting married. In the last 5 years, I've moved away from my regular dependence on income support and earn my own income. So all of these things tie together and come because of you having your house and your place in community and your career and all those things underway. One of the key areas for me is not having that threat of tenancy be an issue. I think that being able to say, well, I own it as long as I continue to pay the mortgage, then no one's going to take it away from me. And if I want to modify it in some way that suits my family's immediate need, if you want to make a wall pink, you can make a wall pink. Renting is one concept, but a home ownership is a whole other ideal that every Australian has. So I'm certainly keen to look at options to buy either this dwelling or another dwelling that had similar access features. That's going to be the next phase for me as my kids go through school. As they become young adults, I want to be able to provide some security for them to future-proof their goals. And I think every parent, disabled or not, thinks about some of these things, and certainly I want to have that legacy for my family. That's going to be my next tranche forward. I see my brothers doing it, my sisters doing it, my parents have done it, my grandparents have done it. I suppose that's what generations of people with disabilities and their families are doing now by having these opportunities. For me, that all comes from my house. Everything else works, so you take on that challenge. If I didn't have my house, none of this would happen.